All right, cool. I am just going to kind of run through some scans, look at some charts, kind of start creating my watch list for next week. Kind of working around some weird scans right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to like them or not. I have one that's kind of like a support, trying to find support on the daily, or maybe like a double bottom sort of thing. So I'll kind of roll through these and see if anything pops out. If it does and I like it, then I'm going to pull it up in TrendSpider here and take a closer look. Lots of big drops on these names. Oh, I'm sorting this scan by how far away it is from the 5-day. Let me do it by volume. I think I can add the 21 EMA to this one as well. I'm always kind of changing my TC2000 workspaces. Cut under the 50. It's a nice breakout here, but it's under all these key moving averages. I don't even know what this name is. IWM is still range bound. Veils back to the 100, which was support before. Just don't like how all those names are underneath the 50 and the 21. Mara's looking much more bullish over the 100. Though it tends to move with Bitcoin, right? Its average true range is extremely volatile. Yeah. It's a good looking break today. About 7% gain, 7.31. Where would I put a trend line here? I do like this convergence of all these EMAs right here. See what happened the last time. Ran up 100%. RSI is looking good. Don't really like these top wicks too much, but volume. Still under the year-to-date volume weighted average price, but so it's got to break out of this falling wedge. RSI is making higher highs. Volume was great on those days, but it's still under the year-to-date and the 100. And it's back in the cloud. Cool. That one's interesting. And 6. Start this next week's watch list off right. What else do I want on here? That's good for now. Alright, let's keep working through the scan here. This 144 has been solid support for Novavax. Looks like we're just about there again. It's so volatile. This is like the only biotech stock I like to trade. I'll add it to my weekly list and kind of see how it reacts around that 144. Maybe I'll set an alert on it. Oh, I have an alert down here on this trend line, which is likely going to follow the 144. Yeah, pretty closely. Here's the other Fibonacci EMAs. Volume was pretty big on this one. RSI hasn't made a lower low yet, so that could be a good sign. I'm going to leave this alert, or actually let's move this alert to the 144. See if it hits that on Monday or early next week. Yeah. Volume is interesting because it was very large on these 2 days here. I don't normally care about news, but I'm curious. See if anything pops up on Twitter. Let me know if there's any charts you want me to take a look at or anything. More delays. Classic. I don't think they've even put out a actual product yet. But whatever they're working on is supposedly promising. Mara seemed to have had a better move than Riot today. Yeah, by about double the percent. Although we do have increasing volume. RSI is looking good. And we have the highest close that we've had since a month ago. This big EMA convergence right here. Alright, it's looking interesting. I know Bitcoin's been moving up since the market closed even. Back above the Ichimoku cloud. This 144 is kind of a nice support and resistance, just kind of slices right through price. It's been support for a couple weeks now. Kind of like the looks of this one. RSI broke out of this downtrend here. There was a divergence, but price pulled back over 12%. Followed through with that previous divergence, kind of reset itself. You're on the list. Delta Variant Airlines. It's a pretty solid support resistance level. Resistance here back in June. Kind of resistance there. Break above. Retest. Now we're back to it. It's under a lot of key levels here, but put that one on my weekly in TC2000. RSI didn't even budge with this gap down. This is gold miner. I don't normally like to trade stocks that are priced under $5. Honestly, I don't even really like to trade stocks under like $15 or $20, but this is a cool looking chart though. It's got this nice like consolidation right here. I might put a pivot level right about here. It's got a nice consolidation, and the RSI is looking super strong here, making higher highs, and price isn't making higher highs. Today it did, but even before that. This one tends to have some big days here and there. If I do anything with this one, it'll be very small position. Pinterest not doing anything since their earnings. I don't normally like to take these kind of trades, but there could be something in there. When price is pretty extended from the 55 EMA or the 220 on the 2 hour, they're extremely similar. Oh, this is the 65 minute. It's even more extended on the 2 hour. But if you could find some sort of range in here that it breaks out of, it could be worth pulling up here, taking the trade there. Skills, actually. A couple weeks ago when it was down under 14, I bought a bunch of it. And then I sold half of it before earnings because it was not really reacting well. And then once it got back under, so I think I got in like right about here. And then I ended up selling some up here. I had a slight gain. And then I got out of the rest of it once it broke down here. But I was kind of playing a move off of this support right here. It's a little wonky, but you get the idea. So yeah, I kind of got in on this undercut and it came back up, and the earnings were pretty terrible. So right now I'm just staying away from it because it's weak. It's not really doing a whole lot that I'm liking, but on a smaller time frame, there is a slight divergence here on the 65 minute. Let me pull it up in TrendSpider here. So I think, yeah, you can see RSI making a higher low here, and price is making a lower low. So I think maybe very short term, there could be something there, or if you're planning on holding it for the long term, there could be something there too. Just as far as kind of like a midterm, like if I were to want to hold something for, a couple weeks or something like that, I think there's better opportunities out there. I mean, who knows? This thing does have days like this where it, goes off, but I mean, after those earnings, that just weren't exciting at all. I don't really know much about the product, honestly. I've heard their apps aren't that great. They just make kind of cheap phone games, but I don't know if those are people actually like those or not. I don't really know what they do specifically in their games, but so yeah, definitely kind of a miss for right now, but on a very short-term time frame, I do like the divergence on the RSI, but it's just under all key levels. It broke a key support, so I'm kind of just staying away from it for now. eBay's got earnings coming up. Could be a good short. Just at first glance, looking at this chart. RSI moving down lower. Broke this trend here. Kind of in a no man's land of moving averages. I would have to look at the simples, but MGM's perking up a little bit. It's kind of just been, it's kind of a loose consolidation maybe. Volume's drying up a bit, and now got a couple of good volume days. Nice close today too. This one looks interesting. It's above almost all key moving averages. Until I go to this chart and I see it's still just under the 50 and the 100. This blue one's the 55. Had this big drop on China news and got bought back up pretty quickly. Now it's just kind of back into its original downtrend. Probably do something like this. Could be a good short off of this here. Who knows? Roku, did they have earnings a couple days ago, I'm guessing? It's a nice divergence on Penn here. RSI's showing quite a bit more strength. Still under longer term moving averages. Dang, what happened to Peloton? Their earnings aren't for another 2.5 weeks. Coin moving up with Bitcoin. Dang. Inside day on Etsy. I'm assuming they had earnings a couple days ago too. Ugh. Some good looking cyclical names. I think what I'm leaning towards now is kind of taking moves off of strong supports or resistances if I'm going short. Let's pull this one up in TrendSpider. I think I took a trade on this one on the long side a while back. So got a large volume gap right here. So under the 50, which isn't a good sign. You can see it was strong support back here. But it tends to undercut the 50, it looks like. So I'll kind of see how it reacts just above this $8 level here. And there's the year-to-date anchored VWAP here. Under that would be a great short. But a move off of that could be a good long too. Interesting. It had earnings here and then it shot up. So it had earnings on the 27th. And then 2 days later, it gapped up and ended up having an 8% day. Kind of weird volume. I'll put it on the chart. Keep an eye on it. Invitae, I haven't heard this name in a while. This ends up breaking to the upside, could be a pretty cool double bottom pattern here. RSI is looking good. Lots of volume on this gap up day. Whew. I'm getting sleepy. I'm normally in bed at this point, but I tend to stay up a little later on weekends. Still under key levels, almost extended from these levels here, but I don't know. It doesn't look as good to me once I pull it up in TrendSpider. It's kind of one thing I like about using multiple platforms is just gives me a different perspective. I'll pull something up in TC2000 that I'm looking at in TrendSpider, and I might immediately see something that I didn't catch. Cafe has earnings in a few days, it looks like. At about a 6% day today. This is a cool looking trend right here. It's a rough trend line, but you get the idea. This isn't a name that I normally would like to trade. I mean, here's over a month where it moved like 80 cents. I guess given that is just kind of a 3-4% range. This would have been an extremely profitable butterfly. Just had the idea to put stocks in a watch list that could be very profitable butterflies. Even right here, 10 days. Kind of wait for it to get in this tight range. Pick up a butterfly, say here. You know, go a week out. I mean, here you could have gone a month out. Still nailed it. Go a week out, 8 days out, 7 bars out. Ooh. Zoom pulling back a little bit. Still good volume on these days. Now I'm just seeing good butterfly plays everywhere I look. So not earnings today, maybe? Logged into my broker to... Right. Let's see, I wouldn't want to buy one now just because it's not quite in a range yet, but let's just say it was. Options aren't great, but let's say it just sticks right at about $30 for about 3-4 days. Yeah, not that great of a butterfly, but it's because the options are so wide. If they were $1 options, then I kind of could go, $2 out each way. It'd be a much better trade. Yeah, I don't like it. Fubo, another one just kind of stuck in a range here. Let's see, what would happen if I connected these? Potential turnaround point. Yeah, this long wick is just aftermarket shenanigans. Hmm. Perfect bounce off of the 55 here. Looks like it's coming in again. It's got earnings on Tuesday, apparently. Yeah, Tuesday. Hmm. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here in just a minute, so let me know if there's anything else you want me to take a look at. It's pretty hard resistance right around here at 60. Looks like it might be kind of turning over now right here. I'm gonna put it on my weekly list. Potential short. This one too. Yeah. The range isn't great on this one, the ATR. ARC-G. Oh, I still need to figure out how to get this or something very similar in my retirement account. I can do equities, but there's fees with equities, and it's just kind of a pain to put just normal ETFs or common stock into your retirement account. So I'm trying to find just mutual funds that are similar. Like there's a mutual fund out there that literally just replicates ARK Invest. You know, there's mutual fund out there that's over 50% Tesla. Um, it's kind of interesting. Add another one to the butterfly list. It's got a slight RSI divergence here. Is Dollar Tree still around? When's the last time you've even seen a Dollar Tree? App's starting to turn up a bit here. Looking a little interesting at first glance. Big down day today. 4%. Not a ton of volume, but still got about 8% before this gap fills in revolve. Teladoc still not doing a whole lot. I think it's safe to call this a pretty hefty support right now. Price is about 11% away. Just kind of stuck underneath this giant EMA cluster. Bollinger Bands are getting pretty tight here. Really hasn't done anything in a couple weeks. It's a bit of an RSI divergence here. It's kind of cool. It's on the list. Bollinger Bands are pretty tight on Farfetch also. It's a pretty tight consolidation here. Another good butterfly name. This 233 is a nice solid support resistance line, even back here. Since its inception, the 233. Support, 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 resistance, breakthrough, support, support, support. They got earnings in a couple weeks. Put it on the list. There could be a trade there. XP. Haven't heard this name in a while. It's just been hanging out after a $2,200 run, or 2,300% run. Dang, then look at this. Earnings gap up 36%. Wild. It's holding up super well. We know it can move up. I mean, look at this gap up. Ended up going over 100% in less than a month. Let's see, I would call maybe some sort of support resistance right around here. It's kind of hard to put an actual just straight line here, but might do something like this. Just kind of a weird zone here. Nice catch on the 144 here. I would be looking on the short side for this one, but Good RX. I know this is a big company, but I don't know how they make money. Because you sign up for GoodRx, you, I don't know if you put in your prescription or you just look up whatever drugs you're on and then they give you coupons. Or they somehow make it cheaper. which is cool. It's a great company. But I have no idea how they make money. That's just my ignorance. I just don't know. I'm not saying that I've looked into it and it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying I have no idea how this company works. Stitch Fix is a cool company. I tried them out a couple times. Everything they sent me was awesome. Not looking too good right now. Riding the Bollinger Band down. Would expect some sort of bounce or short consolidation to let it catch up. Maybe something right there. Probably do something like this. Maybe put support resistance right there. GME just slowly moving down. I think you could put some sort of support resistance line right about 130, 135-ish. Oh yeah, and look at this RSI. It's looking a lot better. Is there still juice in the GameStop tank? Yeah, maybe I'll look at this one in TrendSpider later. But for now, I am going to get out of here. So thanks for watching. At some point this weekend, I haven't been streaming as much as I originally wanted to. Been really busy working on some other stuff, which you guys will see at some point soonish, I hope. But it's going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. It's going to be pretty awesome. So with that, I will say good night. Have a good one.